Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yonathan. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. I always like to bring up the fact, pursuing the prophecy, that when the true bloodline descendants of the nation of Israel go back to the Holy Land, it's going to go down a particular way, and it's going to happen after particular events happen in the earth. Okay, that main event that we're speaking of is the War of Armageddon, all right? World War III. It's going to be fought in a particular way. Let's actually go get Isaiah the 9th chapter. Start this thing off. Go to Isaiah the 9th chapter and the 5th verse. He says what? For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So every war, even up until this time, has been fought pretty much traditionally the same way. Close quarters combat, men, going to arms with each other. It's been fought a particular way. Right? But this final war that's getting ready to take place is going to be fought with thermonuclear missiles, and this is an inkling to that, and we'll get other precepts to back this up. So let's read this again from the top. Isaiah 9 and 5, it says, For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. It separates, it differentiates the war that's getting ready to take place from all other wars before it. It's not going to be, traditionally close swords, guns, men on the battlefield in the trenches losing their limbs. There's going to be some of that, but the main way it's going to be fought is by, these thermonuclear missiles. All right, let's also go to Isaiah 54 and 16. It says, Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. Let's look up that word, the smith here. And it's Ka'arash, craftsman, artisan, engraver, artificer, skillful to destroy. So the Lord put the spirit on those Germans to create that. And the brothers always bring up the movie Oppenheimer, the dope movie to look at. The Lord put the spirit on them to create that weapon to destroy themselves. All right. It says fabricator of any material, artificer. Okay. Let's read that again. Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. Okay, so the Lord put the spirit on them to create this weapon. And it's a particular way, this final war that's prophesied in Joel, the 3rd chapter, all the nations being gathered in the valley of Yehoshaphat. There's a particular way it's going to go down, man. And we're waiting on that. Let's go to Zechariah 14 and 12, all right? This will give you an insight on how this weapon that the Lord put the spirit on them to create, how it affects the body of people, okay? And you'll see what I'm saying as I read it. Zechariah 14 and 12. It says, And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Now, you also could use this to go with the chariots, okay? But I'm going to use this to illustrate the effect that the missiles are going to have on people's bodies. And you'll be like, what other weapon could have this effect on the human body? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, which means for their flesh to consume away while they stand upon their feet. It's not just a regular bomb and somebody caught on fire. It had to happen in an instant. And the heat was so intense that it was able to do that. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Okay? So giving you insight, what is it actually? Yeah, it's talking about the missiles, man. Go to, where is it? 2 Peter 3 and 10. It says, But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Okay? The sky is going to be filled with that mushroom cloud, and it's going to be initiated. You're going to hear that great noise shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. What is it going into? What's going on here? All right, so bring that out. I'm gonna go to Malachi 4:1, then I'm gonna go to Micah 4, because it's gonna basically be speaking the reverse of Joel, the 3rd chapter, just to prove, like, when we go back to the Holy Land, certain things had to happen, okay, and also there's not gonna be war anymore. Okay, Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Now I'm going to go read a little bit of Joel, the 3rd chapter first. It's Joel 3, I'll start at verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I'm strong. So turn from agriculture, okay, and turn towards gearing your economy towards war, which for the first time in many years, Japan is doing just that. Japan is militarizing, and they haven't done that since the end of World War II. World War III, the third woe is getting ready to happen. And woe means destruction, a great destruction. All right? Okay. Whoa. Third, I'm just going to go get that. This is, Revelation 11 and 14, it says the second woe, actually I'll start at 13. In the same hour there was a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. The city is talking about is Babylon the Great. And when it says the 10th part of the city fell, when you look at America, it is 10 regions of zip codes. There's 10 zones on that FEMA map. So when it's talking about the 10th part of the city fell, it's going into basically the fullness, the whole of Babylon was destroyed. It's future prophecy. Revelation 11 and 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. 7 is just the number of completion that you'll see pop up commonly throughout the scriptures. And the remnant were affrighted, the remnant that feared Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past. The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, these are linked together. They're right after, 14 is right after verse 13, because it's letting you know this is going to happen during that third woe. Okay? Now, we'll go back to Joel 3 and read a little bit more there, and then we'll jump to Micah. So you go to Joel 3:10, right? It says, beat your plowshares and the swords, and your pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say I am strong. And all of the nations, if they don't have nuclear capability, they have an ally that does. Okay? Verse 11, assemble yourselves, come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Jehoshaphat it says here in English. But it's, basically talking about that the coast of Iran, that area. For there I will sit to judge all the heathen round about. Now we go to Micah 4. So it gave us a location and the way that it was going to be fought. You see that third woe? And then we didn't read it in Isaiah 9 and 5, but after that third woe is fought, all right, this war that's going to be different from all the others, after that's fought, it talks about the kingdom of heaven being established in verse 6 when you go to Isaiah 9 and 6. Okay, it talks about Yahweh Shah establishing the government, the forever government that's going to be established here on earth. Now, Micah 4 and 1, check this out. It says, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord, the government of the house of the Lord, right, shall be established in the top of the mountain. It's going to be established above all the other nations. And it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow unto it, right? This is going to be where what's right and wrong, the laws are issued from, the nation of Israel. Verse 2. And many nations shall come and say, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, And we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord shall come from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. Is the law, all right, coming forth out of Israel right now in righteousness? Or is it something else? The biggest pride celebration takes place in Tel Aviv. Verse 3. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Now, this is the reverse of Joel, the 3rd chapter. So this is taking place after the war of Armageddon, the third woe. This is taking place after the nation of Israel is established and goes back to the Holy Land. Let's read verse 3 again. Check it out. Let it dawn on you. And he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So it's saying once this happens, once the true bloodline descendants go back to the Holy Land, the kingdom of heaven is established, there's not going to be war on the earth anymore. But there's another people who are in the Holy Land today who, ever since they've gotten there, it's been nothing but war. So something's not adding up according to prophecy, and we know prophecy is chief when it comes to the scriptures. To be into prophecy is to have the spirit of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. We know that when you go to Revelation, the 19th chapter, and the 10th verse, correct? What does it say there? It says, and he fell at his feet to worship, and he said to me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua, or Jesus as people ignorantly call him. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. So that's the spirit, that a true believer is going to be in. He's going to be occupied with prophecy, paying attention to those things. And that's not something that you see in the churches. That's not something you see over there in the Holy Land today. Okay? And they don't fit any of these things. So that's just, food for thought for those who are new and those who already know. These people do not fit the prophecies. And that's where the bar gets too high. So Abarat is out of lessons edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bahakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.